Over the last few episodes, we've been building up this industrial area, automating lots of shiny things, adding a power station, and more recently, this giant storage warehouse. And of course, a shiny new vehicle. This building, however, is scarily empty, and today, hopefully, we're going to change that. So for this building, I do have some plans. The question is whether I can pull it off or not. So I plan to lean into the whole warehouse thing we've got going on with the outside and bring that to the inside too. That means storage racks, pallets, piles of goods and so on all over the ground floor here. Then as we move up to the first floor, we'll have more storage racks in this smaller side section, but the majority of that floor is going to be our new workshop. The old one's getting a little bit cramped these days. That then leaves the top floor, which I can use for overflow storage, things I just don't really need that much. And of course, that also leaves the two buildings on the roof, which for now shall remain empty. You never know when we're going to need more space. So that's the plan. It's a very, very loose plan, and I haven't actually designed any of this or thought beyond what I just told you, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But first up, we need to do a bit of planning and prepare this ground floor here, because I think this is where we're going to start on the kind of storage input areas, I guess, and try and work out how we're going to make this look all warehousey. And I don't think there's anything scarier in Minecraft than staring at a big empty space and knowing you need to fill it and not having a clue where to begin. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of concerned about the structural integrity of this place as well. There is nothing holding up this floor. So maybe we can combine those two problems into one and come up with a solution. So to get this done, I'm going to need a whole lot more brick. And to be honest, I pretty much used everything we made last time. I will check to see what we've got, but we're probably going to need a little bit more. And then we'll work out how we're going to kind of divide up this room a little bit and give us smaller sections to work with. And that should make it much easier for me to wrap my brain around. So this has got another 14,000 clay in it, so let's just steal all of this. And I guess this is another resource we really should be moving out of here, because that's going to cause problems if it backs up completely. Right, let's go make some more brick. Woo! Although, let's see what we've got left over first. Okay, more than I thought. Maybe we don't need to make brick just yet. We've also got these. Excellent. I can just dump all the clay in here and just craft up a whole bunch more bricks. Now, let's think about this. How are we going to divide this up? I think it makes sense, first off, to maybe have pillars sort of like this, either side of the windows. Then we'll stretch these beams all the way across the ceiling over to the opposite wall. Although annoyingly, they're just out of reach, so I've got to build myself a little platform and then put these up, and then I've got to remove my little platform. Ugh. What a pain. So this could take a moment. I'll see you once I've got all of these beams in. But it's amazing what a difference a few beams can make. I can start to see how it's dividing up already, which is wonderful, but the beams look terrible. So I wonder if we were to put some small sort of arches on these things. Let's just do this one pillar here. Then we'll do a block, and then we'll do a half slab, and then a panel. Yeah, I think that could work, but it's kind of hard to tell with just one pillar. Let's do the opposite one here as well. Tell you what, I do quite like that. It's going to take me forever to do all of these, though. But I reckon it's going to be worth it, so let's crack on. Yeah, there we go. Having those arches in makes it look much better. But now on to the next problem. I set my brightness down to proper levels. It's pitch black in here. And that means I need to sort out some lighting. And that comes with good news and bad news. The good news is, I think I know how I want to make the lights and make them look all industrial and nice. It's pretty dark in here. I shouldn't be recording clips in here. There we go, that's a bit better. So yes, I do know how I want the lights to look. And for the lights, I need zinc, which is easy enough. We've got that automated. But I also need some end rods. And that we don't have. At least we don't have currently. In the past, though, we have gone to go get loads and loads of chorus fruits. And I'm just hoping that we've got some left over, maybe, potentially, hopefully. I mean, we've got plenty of blaze rods. We seem to have 900 in our bag for some reason, which I assume is from sorting out the blaze rod farm over there. But without the chorus fruits, we can't get our end rods. Although, it looks like we've actually got some end rods left over already, so there's 104 there, which, to be honest, is probably going to be more than enough. Especially when I have no idea where I might have put that chorus fruit. Is it over here? Oh, yes. Look at that. Yeah, we've got loads of it. Which means we can get some lights in straight away. Excellent. Right, so what I want to do is make myself a whole load of zinc catwalk. That's going to be the secret ingredient here. So let's start off putting some lights on this section, and then we'll work our way forward. And they're quite simply going to be just like that. 2 end rods and 4 catwalks per light. And I think once we get them throughout the building, that should look pretty good. So let's get that done. There we go. We can see a lot better in here now. We've got lots of lighting, and now we can actually start on the build. And I think it makes sense for the first thing I do is going to be to sort out all of these bays and figure out where this stuff is going to go. And ideally, I think I just want to feed them all into draw controller slaves. So I could literally just put one right here and save a whole lot of space, but I think I want to try and make something that looks a little bit cooler. And this bit here is 3 wide, so maybe what we can actually do is pull everything over here somewhere. Then we can do the same for these ones as well. So if we were to put in a belt here, we'll do the same thing over on this side, as in the same thing we've got over there. So we'll stick one of them there. We'll do the same on this one, though that's going to have to come out one further, and then we can just get all of these in, and that should create a nice little belt system for our drop-offs here. So we just need to stick some funnels on these, get some encased chain drives in, and then we just need to sort the power. And I think just doing that should now mean that all the belts are going to get powered. Everything should be connected. What I do need to do, however, is actually get some power over here. And I wonder, first off, let's just get it to the building. And I'm wondering if... yeah, we do have this tunnel at the back here. We could utilize this a bit, I guess. Maybe we should do it at the top, though, just in case we do something with this tunnel at some point. If we send a shaft over this way, vertical gearbox, a few more shafts, and I think if we put one here, that should be about the right level. Now we just need to connect up to some power, and I don't really want to connect to the power here because this is obviously all attached to the lava lake, and it's kind of on an independent system. So, with that in mind, is there somewhere else we can grab it from? There should be some. Yeah, there we go, just over here. This is what we shall still. We'll send it all the way over this way, stick in a gearbox and send it off in this direction, although I need more shafts. And then I think at this point here, we're going to jam in a speed controller and just make sure that that is going max speed. Yep, there we go. I think it was only going half speed before. But that has brought power into this building for us, which is awesome. So we can then route that power upstairs, so when we build our workshop, we've got power up there, but I can also route this down underground. And then we can get that connected up over there. So, more digging, I guess. And then loads more shafts. And I've run out again. Let's make some more. And then we just need to send this up. And is this going to go in the right direction? Nope. So let's just stick in another gearbox to rotate the signal again. And there we go. Look, we're actually offloading the van. Brilliant. Don't want to be doing that right now, though, because it doesn't really have anywhere to go. It's all just going to get launched and then fill up my inventory, which we don't want. But this is all working. This is good. So, first thing I want to do is hide all of this, and we're going to use industrial iron blocks to encase this, which I don't think you can do in normal create, but we do have the create encased mod on here, and that, I believe, is what's allowing us to do this. But I think we can also, no, not that one, do this. Yeah, look at that. We can just make everything not stand out quite as much. Gearboxes as well. Yeah, look at that. All right, looking good. Offloading system working. Now, the next thing I'm going to need is draw controller slaves. Some of these. So we need to make some comparators, get some drawers and gold, and I think we've got everything we need on us. Because this copycat bag now also has some drawer-related things in it. So we've got our framing table. We're definitely going to want that. We've got some drawers and trims and some other framed trims as well. Which, to be honest, we do need to use one of them down here. And let's just quickly do that. Right, so we need to make comparators, which I think is the only thing I don't have on me, which means we need to go get some quartz. And I really chose a bad route there, running over the belts. So let's just grab some of that straight from there so we can make a bunch of them and make a bunch of them. Excellent. Oh, and it has just occurred to me, I've got a couple of belts here that aren't running, but we can solve that with a couple of shafts. There we go. Wonderful. Though let's give these some brackets. Just sits a bit better like that. Right, anyway, drawers. Can we do this with them? Oh, we can. Look at that. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell what anything is in my hotbar, but excellent. I like that we can do that. So then we just need a few funnels there. To make them look a bit better, let's do the thing where we make them big. We never do this. Yeah, that makes that look like more of a unit. I like that. I don't like the fact that it sticks out. Maybe I should put it forward by a couple of blocks. And there we go, that already feels better. Excellent. So that's the offloading system done, but we have nowhere for it to load into yet. And I'm just going to quickly hide the power again for now. So, actual storage. What are we going to do about this? So if I want this to look like a warehouse, I think it's going to make sense to have like some piles or pallets of things, as well as some shelving units and so on. And I think I've got a bit of a layout in mind of how this first bit could work. It's just a question of whether I can actually pull it off or not. So I think it makes sense for us to actually start by storing the things we are already producing over here. But for this to work, it means I'm going to need to gather lots of this stuff. Got a lot of gold compared to copper. Jeez. And then what I'm going to do is make a whole bunch of blocks of these things. I'm pretty sure we can get, yeah, look at that, blocks of experience. They look weird, but at least they're blocks. And there we go. I now have blocks of all 9 things. I'm actually kind of glad that all of that stuff can be turned into blocks. And let's see if we can start off just by making some piles of loot. And I think I've got an idea of how the actual storage on these will work once we've got that done. So if we were to do iron, gold, copper, zinc, brass, alloy, then I guess round the back, redstone, diamond, experience, and we can probably come up with some other stuff to put in here. I mean, we could do lapis and emeralds. Not that we're actually automating them, but we're still going to need storage for them. And I'll tell you what, I know exactly what we can put on this last one. Industrial iron. We use a lot of that. So let's see if I can turn this into sort of piles of stuff, I guess. As part of making these piles, I also need to make a pile of emeralds, but I didn't have any in storage, so I came over here to sell to my villagers, and they're zombies. So I guess we're going to do a bit of villager curing. Not something that was on my list today. Oh, it's lovely to fly over the log flume again, though. We'll be back soon, theme park. In fact, maybe we'll even come back next episode and add a new ride. I do have an idea for something we want to do. You've been screaming about it in the comments as well. It's probably about time I built that wizard tower. But we'll save that for next episode. For now, I had the thing I needed to do. What was it? What did I come back here for? Oh yes, I need to make a potion. Now, I think I've got a couple of potions laying around somewhere. Ooh, I could do with that. My wings are a bit damaged. Yes, anyway, potions. I'm sure I had a couple around somewhere. Where did I put them? Apparently nowhere, but look at that. 9 emeralds. They'll come in handy. Well, apparently I have no potions whatsoever. So I guess we're going to do some brewing. How do we even make potions of weakness? Fermented spider eye into a water bottle. So we need some spider eyes. We need brown mushrooms. Do I have any? They might all be over in my other storage. And we're going to need a little bit of sugar as well. So let's grab some of this. Oh, and while I think of it, we're also going to need golden apples. So, do I have any apples in here? Nope, not down there. How about in the kitchen? We do. And an enchanted one as well. Forgot about that. So, let's make the golden apples. We only need 2. And we need brown mushrooms. So, spider eye with sugar and 1 brown mushroom will give us a fermented spider eye. Now, we just need to add that to water. And I think the best thing for us to do for that is probably just going to be to come down here and see what this guy's up to. Right, he's got potion of strength in there. But as this one has blaze powder in, we may as well use it. Right. And I'm going to need a bit of gunpowder as well, because I need to make these splash potions, I believe. It's been so long since I've done anything with villagers and potions, I was kind of forgetting a little bit there. So that's our potions of weakness. Adding the gunpowder should turn them into splash potions. And then we should be good to go cure these villagers and actually sell some stuff, get some emeralds, and make a big pile of stuff. Let's lure these guys outside. Can I even get out here? Probably not. Right, let's just... Oh, that was terrible. I threw that at myself. Right, I think that one got them. And then, ow! Stop it! Then if we do that... So that was going to take 270 seconds to convert. This one is only going to take 170. So... that means he's going to attack this one. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on the timer and grab him as soon as he's done. I mean, we do have the carry-on mod, so I think I'm going to be making very quick use of that very shortly. It's the only way I can save you, Franklin. Why is this one taking like twice as long, though? I don't understand. That's so weird. Oh, are you kidding me? I already had a golden apple and potion in. For the love of... What's this guy? Oh, yeah, the bard. I forgot about you. Oh, he's literally called Guy. Excellent. Right, 1 more minute, Franklin, and I'll save you. Don't panic. Stop panicking, I said. Right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, okay, we got him. We got him. Dulcie over here didn't even notice. Excellent. So we're just going to wait for Dulcie to convert back, and then we'll put Franklin back in the pen, and then we can do some trading. Finally. Looks so funny when you hold these. Finally. Right, Franklin, you can go home now. What we're going to do is get a whole load of sticks and a whole bunch of string and get ourselves some emeralds. And I guess we can do the old librarian trick here, where we can buy a load of those. You reset your trades already, Franklin? Nope, I think I just didn't sell him enough sticks in the first place. Anyway, what we can do is if we smash up these bookshelves, which we paid 1 emerald for, we're going to get 3 books for each one. And now we can sell these books back to Dulcie and make a nice, tasty profit. So that's our 12 emeralds back, and we've still got another 24 we can sell once he refreshes his trades. But so far, I've got 6 blocks of emeralds. I'm probably going to need at least twice as many as that, so I I guess I'm going to be waiting around for these guys for a little while. Well, I've got 16 blocks. That'll have to do. I'm not standing around here for another day. Let's go make some more piles of stuff. Right, the piles are in, but they're looking a little bit too organized right now. So what I'm going to do is break them up a little bit using some of these bite blocks because they look like smaller blocks of the same resource. I reckon if we have a few of these piles round and about, it could look pretty good. Gotta be careful not to overdo it. And I also need to make sure I'm leaving at least one face blank on each one of these piles as well, because I want to make sure that we can actually get the drawers in. There we go. That's looking better. Looking pretty good from this side as well. Now what I need to do is work out where the drawers are going to go. Because it's no good having storage if we can't actually store anything. So I want to make some compacting drawers, which means I need pistons. That should be easy enough. I just need some planks. There we go. Loads of pistons. Right, so we want a bunch of these. And we want a bunch of these ones as well. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is just put down these where they're going to go. We'll make them look better later. We're going to disguise them back as the blocks they're currently replacing. So these ones all need 3-tier compacting drawers. Emeralds only need 2. Industrial iron, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. Oh no, look, it does do 3. Look at that. Lapis only needs 2. Experience needs 2. Diamonds needs 2. And redstone needs 2. So we've got a whole bunch of drawers in. Now we need to figure out how we're going to connect them. So let's grab some dark oak trim for this. So we'll start over here, and if we put in down the back here, get some trim underneath, that connects these two together. We can hide those. They're connected already. So the next ones we need to get to are all the way over there. So if we remove that one there and get some trim in those holes, and we need to go one more. There we go. Oh, and thinking about it, these copper blocks, they're going to age. So if I remove those, I don't have any wax, but there is something else we can do. If we go to copycat stuffs and just get some normal copycat blocks and then put them back, they are no longer normal copper blocks, so they won't age and go all tarnished and so on. Oxidized, that's the one. They're not going to turn green anymore, which is good. So I guess we might as well just carry this line across. We're going to need to disguise that one. But that's connected this entire line. So it's got those 2, it's got those 3. And them 3 are attached, so to be honest, we can just continue that all the way to the last block. And then we just need to go underground and attach to where the rest of the storage system is going to be, which is down there somewhere. So let's get those in, let's stick our brass back and our alloy back. And I've already fallen down the hole, so I guess we might as well do this bit next. So let's connect the storage up across here. And where does it need to go to? Around about here, I believe. Framed trim, yep, perfect. So we'll bring these down, get those connected, cover up the floor again. All right, so the system is all connected. If I chuck a copper block in there, it should appear somewhere over here. Ah, or not. We haven't actually put in a drawer controller yet, which means it's not a functional drawer system until we do. So let's make one of these. And for now, I'm just going to stick it there. It doesn't really matter. And the copper is gone. And look at that. Okay, obviously it's in the wrong box, but we know the system's connected. That's what matters. Now on to the next step. We need to make all this stuff look good, because currently it does not. So we need a brass one, and I think I've accidentally just made 8 of those. I'll now convert them to something else. No, I cannot. What if I do that? Aha, I can. Excellent. So let's start over at this side and keep things simple. First up, we need an iron one. Then we need a gold one, a copper one. We need zinc and andesite. That's gold, copper, zinc, and andesite. So that's all the ones on this side, but I do still have a couple of trims here that are standing out, so let's get those changed up. We need a gold one and a zinc one. Excellent. And then when we load up these drawers, it loses all those weird lines and looks very cool. I like that. And let's just get all of these ones configured. Ah, andesite alloy. We only need a 2-tier one for that. Let's get that replaced. Wait a minute. I did another 3-tier. Jeez. There we go. That's better. Now I've just got to do the same on the other side, and this bit's good to go. And there we go. They are all done now and looking good. And I'd say that's not a bad start to the storage area, but there are obviously other things that we're going to need to store that are related to these things. So, for example, all the different ores, all the raw versions, the crushed versions, the plates as well. I kind of want to store those in this area too. So what I'm going to do is put a big shelving unit over here and see if we can come up with something cool. Although something has just occurred to me. So I've given these guys some upgrades, lots of upgrades. In fact, I've used up most of the diamonds I had. So they can store loads, but what we were initially going to do was to actually measure how much we're storing and then stop it bringing over more stuff when they're full. But with this design, it's not actually possible for me to do that. There's nowhere for me to hide threshold switches and other redstone links and things like that in these little storage areas. Bit of an oversight on my part there. So that means I'm going to need a different solution to stop the van from backing up. And it also means that everything I did last episode is now a lot less needed than it was. I mean, it's still helpful because we're still going to be bringing over even amounts of stuff. But half the reason for that system was so we could prevent things backing up over here. But instead, I think I'm just going to chuck some void upgrades on those. Just like this. But I need more. We'll sort that out in a little while. For now, let's see if we can build a shelving unit. There we go. Big old shelving unit. And now I need to pack a load of drawers onto it. And I think I've got an idea of how I can do this. Though it might be a bit random. So first up, I'm going to need loads of chests. And I'm going to make loads of drawers in a bunch of different colors. So we'll do some jungle, some birch, some spruce, and some oak. To be honest, I might want some slightly brighter drawers as well. What are these ones? Bamboo. Do we have much bamboo laying around? That is the question. I'm sure we've stripped loads for straw and not really used it for anything, so it's got to be around somewhere, right? I'm hoping that somewhere is on my boat over here. There's 33 in there. Looks like that's about it, though. I don't think that's going to get me very far. We can always check our bamboo over here. If this has grown, at least we can get a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. Loads of bamboo. Although the blaze bone has got my sword again, so let's just quickly make this one, because I think this is the quickest way to chop it down. Although it instantly switched me out for an axe. But the sword is quicker. Silly tool swapper. I don't think there's anything quite as satisfying as chopping down bamboo. That sound is amazing. Now, let's see if we can get this to work. What I want to do is kind of have a mismatch of boxes on the shelves. Maybe we'll remove this top shelf, otherwise we're not going to get very many boxes on here at all, are we? Is it going to look weird without a top shelf, though? Guess we'll find out in just a moment. So let's just start getting some boxes down. Yeah, definitely glad I brought the bamboo ones. That adds a lot. But it's looking a little bit formal, so what I want to do is maybe set some back a little bit, but then also in some places maybe have it sort of still stack forwards like this. Let's just dump a load more boxes on and see how we end up. I've stacked up some trim behind there as well, just so the shelf looks solid from the other side. Yeah, I think that works. Just gotta make sure all these drawers are locked for now before we hook them up to the system. Speaking of which, how are we gonna do that? I reckon we just dig down a little bit under here. Yeah, look, it's literally right there. Perfect. So if we put a spruce trim in there, and don't I have some of the other trims, these ones, the framed ones. So if we just get rid of that and stick a framed one in there, then that will connect all of this to the system as well. And to be honest, barely even noticeable. And that makes that row look a whole lot better. But the floor is a problem. Wonder what we can do about that. And we need to organize all these drawers as well, to be honest. But I'm not too concerned about that right now. You don't need to see me do organization. That's just boring. Let's fix the floor. So what do we got? We've got some tuff. We've got some gravel. We've got some stone that we can probably make some variants of. Maybe a tough variant would be good as well. Although I don't have a mason's table on me. Or the stuff to make one. Alrighty then, back home we go. Now, I don't want to go too overboard with the floor, so let's just make it a couple of variants. Get some sanded tuff, some sanded stone, and maybe we should get a bit of sanded cobble as well, just so we've got something a bit lighter in there. And hopefully that'll be enough just to make the floor look a little bit more interesting. Nap time. Now, let's not go too overboard, but let's just get a little bit of texture in here and there, and see how we're looking. There we go, just something subtle like that. I think that'll work. But apart from actually organising all the stuff on this side, I think that's the very first tiny section of our storage sorted. We've got so much to do. This is going to take forever. But I think this is a pretty good start. And because that part of the system's hooked up, we can actually start unloading the van, which is going to start filling up all of our boxes over here. Good stuff. Although I'm going to go quickly get those void upgrades, because if I don't do it now, I never will, because I'll forget. I have a terrible memory. Speaking of which, we need to name this building. That's something I did remember. So we'll make sure we do that later on in the episode and hopefully get a logo on the front of the building. That'll be nice. But let's not get distracted. Let's get those void upgrades and then we can start working on the next area of storage. So to make these upgrades, I need more obsidian. We just need a bunch of them. And there we go. Void upgrades have been applied. System is safe. But before we go any further, I am just going to wait for the next truck to come in and make sure that everything offloads correctly. And then we'll work out what section we're going to do next. Oh, here we go. Here comes the truck. And there goes the stuff. And it's going in the system, that's a good sign. And it's also loading things up. This is wonderful. Storage has begun. And when it comes to storing other items in here, I've got an idea of what I want to do for the cobble stone, and it's definitely not exactly the same as this, but it is very similar. And I think I want to do it on this back wall here because there's quite a lot of different stone types and grass and other blocks like that. We've even got things like limestone and scoria. There's the nether blocks, there's deep slate, blackstone, granite, andesite, the list goes on. There's lots of blocks like that. So I think having a section along this back wall for all of those types of blocks, and potentially even in the middle as well if we need the space, then we can put up more shelving units like this to store all the variants of things like slabs and stairs and so on. And layout-wise, that could work quite nicely. But in order to do that, I'm going to need to go on some kind of epic block gathering mission to make sure I've got all the blocks I need so that I can actually sort of put them where they need to be and then sort out a storage drawer for them, give them filters, and so on. And I guess to make that happen, I should probably start with a list. So I've made a list of 23 items that I want to store in this manner, and there are, of course, a lot more blocks than that, but the other ones, things like coarse dirt and rooted dirt, and just things we're not going to have quite as much of, I'll store them in boxes nearby as opposed to in their own massive pile. So I now need to go get myself at least a stack of about 23 different blocks. Let's go see what we can find. In fact, I can start here. I've got some in my bag. Not many though, we've got a long way to go. Well, that was easier than expected. I now have everything we need. Let's go make more piles of stuff. Let's learn from all the effort we had to put in last time, and this time let's stick in a whole bunch of trim at the back here. Then we'll cover that up with the piles of stuff, and that'll make it much easier to link up afterwards. Alrighty, I've got some basic piles in. This should work nicely. And I've also jammed a couple of shelves in around the back here, which are going to hold all like the stairs and slabs and walls and all the little bits that you get from these things. But I think we're going to need probably some more shelves, so I might try and cram some in over there as well. But first, let's sort out these piles. They're still looking a bit too uniform. We need to get some smaller blocks on those. And then, of course, we need to hook up all the drawers. In fact, maybe it'll be clever to do the drawers first. Oh, this is going to take forever. I've got to frame like 23 different drawers. So first off, let's figure where the drawers are going to go and where we need to connect things up. A trim there and a drawer. Same for this one and so on. It would help if I put the right thing in there. There we go. Right, I'm going to spend ages getting these worked out, get them all disguised, and then we'll put the tiny bite blocks on. And then hopefully when I bring you back, this area is going to be looking a whole lot better. And quite similar to that area, just less shiny. Can confirm it's definitely not shiny, but it does look awesome. I love how this has come together, and all these boxes, they really do fit in well. I am absolutely loving the new framing table, which kind of makes me want to head back to the log flume and actually change the drawers we've got there sitting on the logs, because we've kind of put them on the logs, but they don't look like logs. But anyway, I've also sorted out the floor down here. I've got some shelves on the back here as well, which we've got all stacked up, and I've moved the drawer controller here, which should be fairly central to everything in the building, so hopefully we can get it all hooked into the same system. And to be honest, I wasn't sure at first if this was going to work, but the more full this warehouse gets, better I think it's actually going to look. Next up, we do need somewhere to store wood. Although we're not going to be producing it over here, we're still going to be moving some over here, probably just manually when we need to restock, to be perfectly honest, because we only get wood from over there when we're AFK over there anyway. So yeah, we can always just grab it and then bring it back. But I'm still going to need somewhere to store it, and I think I want to use this section here for that. I'm thinking some big piles of logs, and then maybe some shelves on the back for holding all of the planks and wooden stairs and all those sorts of things. Essentially similar to what we've got here, but big piles of wood instead. But you've seen me do it twice already, so I'm just going to crack on and get this done. And to be honest, I'm probably going to add a couple more shelving units around the back here as well, which I don't know what they're going to be used for yet. I don't know what we're going to use this space for, so I'll probably just dump down some barrels or something. But as we start organizing the storage, we'll actually work out where things are going to go. Beyond the basics, of course, which we definitely want to get sorted out now. So I believe I have a lot of the different woods on me already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Missing cherry. So I'm going to go get some cherry wood, and then we're going to make all of the rest of this warehouse look awesome. Tell you what, the more we add in here, the better it looks. This place is looking amazing. I've even added some little signs, look, so we can see what's in each area. But that's our shiny section, which of course you know. We've now got this lovely wood section as well, so we've got all of our woods on display. I decided not to put the nether woods in here because, to be honest, we don't use them that much. We're not currently farming them, so we'll just give them a box around the corner. But I think with the rest of them, this looks pretty good. I've then also added in some more shelves over here, so we've just got more storage all stacked up amongst all of this area. And around the back here, we'll be storing lots of wooden things, and I've just added a few items as well. So we've got lots of sort of random things going, just to make it look a bit more cluttered. Same thing with these canisters, really. They're completely empty. They will remain empty, but they look really cool. Now, I don't actually know what I'm going to be storing on these shelves yet. That's yet to be organized. I know some of them, for example, are going to be wooden items, but other bits, I don't really know yet. And same with most of these areas. I've left this area blank because I think I want to store all the food and stuff here, which means I'm going to need to make food first, so I can then make the food crates and make it all look good. And then over this side, I want to put all of the saplings because it's right next to the wood. It just kind of makes sense. I'm going to have the flowers over in this section here, hence why we've got lots of pots and flower beds laying around. We'll fill them up soon. And I don't know what I want to put over here, so it's just a big old pile of boxes. And I've also scattered around a few of these urns that we've gathered from underground because they just look cool, and once again, they just add to the clutter. But for a couple of days' work, I'd say that's not looking too bad. We've just got a whole lot of organising to do. Sadly, I didn't get as far as I was hoping to today. I was hoping to get this section out here done as well, because this is the only bit I do kind of have a good picture in my mind of what it's going to look like and what we're going to make it out of. But that's going to have to wait for another episode, because I have other things I need to do, such as naming this building. Whoa, don't get run over, Beardy. So the first thing I need to do is remove all of these copycat boards because they were just sort of covering up the struts on the back. These bits here where the sign's being held up, it looked weird without a cover. And we've had loads of awesome name suggestions for this building. We've had loads of terrible ones as well, but that's to be expected. I'm talking to you, Storagebook Storage Face fans. But after reading all of your wonderful comments, I have chosen which one we're going to use. And that is by Henry Rogers 7386, who came up with the name Titan. And I've since designed a logo. So we're going to drop that in. Look at that, nice and simple. Putting all of my graphic design skills into that one, clearly. And I do love the fact with the box, I've put the arrows upside down just to show they're not that efficient. You know, it is mine after all. But if we just jam that in there, well, it's massive. But how does it look? I mean, it looks cool. It'd probably look better in the daytime. Let's have a quick nap. Oh yes, look at that. Titan shipping and storage. Amazing. And there was even more on the comment where it said international suppliers of building materials. Tomorrow's sky. Ow! I've got to stop standing in this yard. Tomorrow's skylines today is what I was trying to say, which I think is amazing. I love this place. But sadly, that's all we've got time for today. We'll be back to do more on this building soon, but in the next episode, I think we're finally going to build that wizard tower. I'm itching to go back to the theme park and build a ride, and I've got a really good idea for it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.